Beep beep. Good morning, ninjas. My name is Semrold, and today I'm going to be doing a breakdown with you guys in the style of New Year. We're going to be going through everything, making just the idea, the melodies, to just getting a build, hopefully. So we're going to be using the main stage pack for this one. And first off, let me say thank you guys so much for all of you guys that have supported the pack. It means a lot to me that you guys allow me to do this for a living. Really crazy, guys. You guys watch my back and I watch yours with amazing tutorials every single day. Almost I try and do them every single day, guys, and if I don't, it's probably because I have something planned with my family, my kids, and my wife, obviously. Other than that, guys, let's get straight into this, shall we? So pretty much we're gonna pick a preset first, and we're gonna go to the Main Stage Revolution pack, which again is the pack that got released 3 days ago. So much support on it. I am gonna go with some of the super saws to start things off. I think super saw 1 is actually a really good one. I'm gonna get rid of this modulation, however, because I don't need it for this one, which sounds like this right now. So that's what we got right now. Let's see if we can decrease something here. I think we're doing this with this. There we go. There we have it. All right, guys. So let's go to the MIDI keyboard and try and get some, some melody coming out to see if we can come up with something that we like. The BPM we're going to be having this is at 130. And let's just see if we can get some cool stuff out of this. So let's close this down. Let's open up the MIDI so you guys can see what's going on. And let's get to it. Alright, so I think I have an idea, and we are gonna record the one that I like. So far we have like the basic standard idea for this, so let's see if we can get something cool recorded. Alright, guys, so I really like the idea that we did. Now we just need to make it sound like W&W. So we're gonna be going with this. Alright, guys, so I really like the idea that we have, so let's go with this. So pretty much here what we're gonna be doing is just making sure it's quantized and giving it a rhythm that's more like, yeah, dun 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 dun. I want to do that. So let's control dun dun dun. Just gonna move it here, and here I think the rhythm's gonna be that. So I think it would be here. There we go. Cool. And then we're gonna come up to this thing over here that we got. So let's see if we can now get that. I'm just gonna delete everything we did. There was no point in that. All right, and I believe we're gonna do that here. Okay. I believe we're gonna bring it back up here. I'm trying to keep things very simple. Going from this chord to, so let's, maybe we go down to, make it right. We just gotta make sure those notes are right. Dun, dun, dun. All right, so I think that sounds right. Okay, this is gonna be actually gonna be the D sharp here, and then the G actually, and then we can do this. Okay, so that's my idea right now that I had in my head, so now let's bring it out. Okay, and we're gonna do the same thing here, where it goes down to the D here. So, go up and down the D. And there we go. All right, cool. So now this opens up because we have this big gap here. Opens up to add new elements to this. So we can just duplicate that. We can get rid of, well, we can leave that. Just press 0 to deactivate the MIDI. And once we have the MIDI deactivated, what we can do is, you know, pick another lead for this. I think I'm going to go with the lead, a very old school one. Let's go with Tears of Vishal, which is going to sound like this. Okay, let's make it so that it's sustainable though. Whoa, that was a moth there. Let's go into our LFO, increase the rise a bit. Let's make it less apparent here, just go and get rid of it. Okay, so there we have this sound. Just do a little bit of changing here. You guys need to learn a little bit of sound design as well, because sometimes the sounds, they're made in a way you like, but sometimes they have these effects that they don't apply to the certain situation you're in. So sometimes knowing a little bit of sound design, like the basics, how to change stuff, goes a long way whenever you want to edit some presets that you really like but you don't like a certain edit from it. Okay, so we have this, and then so I kind of want to do something cool here, and we are gonna we can do something like this. All right, cool. I like that. We're just going up and down the scale, honestly, up and down that D. But let's add like this really nice fifth note here that gives a lot of emotion. There we go. So that we have. Alright guys, so now we're going to play with this to make it sound a little bit cooler. So I'm thinking we're going to be doing the W&W effect here, which I made a video on. So I do want this to be a little bit slower. So let's see if we can make it. So I think we're going to go with this. And I think this would go here. There we go. And then we'll do this here. Dun, dun. There we go. Okay, there we go. This would be better for a break. And then we can use the other rhythm we made, and which we're going to have to make it. We don't have to, actually. Let's just duplicate this across, actually, before we do this. That way this can be like kind of like the more of the climax portion of the melody. Again, we're just doing changes as we move along, like any producer would. I've been really prepared for this video, so that's the cool thing about it. Hopefully that I can edit it in a way that looks cool. All right, so this would be oh yeah, F. Oh, that's gonna give us the major. And then we don't want no major, we just want to fucking party. I forgot the name. And this would go down to the D. And then there, yeah, we got that. That's the idea there. So now we're going to add the W&W effect to this, and this is going to be very simple. I have the camera blocking the reverb. So we're going to be adding a reverb. As you guys know if you watched the video, we add a reverb that we already had. Jesus. High quality. We can use the low cut and high cut to EQ the reverb there. A lot of decay time, full 100%. You're going to route the sauce you're using there. It's going to give a lot of energy that's needed, and then we're going to put a compressor here. We're going to compress this a bit. And then we're going to add a glue compressor to do the sidechain for us. So this is where we're going to sidechain to, and that's going to be to serum. Now we got to make sure this has no reverb at all. And then we're going to pull. We're going to be doing an EQ, and we're going to be doing mid-side EQ to this. That way we want the stereo to be more on the sides of the mix. I learned this from Husband's video. husband started making some really cool videos on how he makes his music. So you guys definitely need to check it out if you're into this type of music. Let's get rid of some of it on the mono signal side. A bit more release. There we go. Now we can add more layers to the super saw and see if we can get something else. So what I'm gonna do is go to Spire, because the pack does come with a Spire sound bank, to add a bit of different tonality, because every synth's gonna have a tone to it. That's why sometimes it's good to have different layers from different synthesizers, because they're each gonna give you a different tonality. So I have opened the main solution pack up. Now this one's gonna be a lot smaller than the Serum one, but we're still gonna have access to some cool stuff. So let's see what we can. So this is going to be a really dope layer to have with that. Alright, so these two here. Different vibes from both. Let's see if we can get another one going in there as well. Maybe let's try Send Super. So we got to find one here. I'm sure we can find a really good one. I really like the sound. It would be good to add like more depth to the sound. So what I'm gonna do is use that sound, but I'm gonna make it play like some notes here. Like it's gonna be sustained all the way through, let's say the G here, and it doesn't need to change at all. And then it's gonna move to our, you know, here we go. Since we have our G sharp, we should go up to, I think, yeah, there we go. So it's gonna sound like. Cool. So that's just an idea we're gonna have. Then now let's duplicate this, because I did want another layer for that song. So let's see if we can find one. There we go. Oh, don't want to kill you. Let's try. There we go. This one's gonna do wonders there. So let's group up the sounds together now, and what we're gonna be doing is just a little bit of OTT to it, just to get it to sound decent. Now we're going to be using the Ableton one. There's no reason to use the Poser one, which is the one all the FL and Logic Pro users use. Just kidding. Shots fired. So now let's lower this. There we got that. Sounds very, very cool there. So now what we have to do is make this idea come to life by presenting it as a full break. So this is what we're going to be doing, is doing a little break intro for it and all that. So let's get straight into doing that. So what we're going to be doing is moving this here, and this is going to be our climax point, and we're going to have to start from over here. So this is lead climax. Now we're going to open up another lead here. We could have used probably the same one, so I'm too lazy to automate stuff, but here we go. We're going to drop in another Serum here to get some really cool kind of sound to come through here. And let's go back to main stage. And I think the one I really like, I think, is Super Saw 1 or 4 that has that option. Yeah, here we go. You know, let's see if we can find a better plug actually. Let's see over here. There we go. That's the one I want. Sounds really, really tasty and fucking nice. I have to say F words, guys. It makes stuff real. It makes stuff feel more intense than it is. All right, so we're going to drop that in here. Now, remember that rhythm we did? That's the one I want to use, and I think we lost it. So what I'm going to be doing is just remaking it really fast for you guys. I think, oh, here it is, actually. Let's bring that rhythm here, and then we're just making sound right here. We're gonna have to add something if this is what we want to go. And then this is what. All right, so here we have that, and let's make it so that it does the really. And then we're gonna do it to this, obviously. So all we have to do is bring this over here. Bum 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 bum. And then we're gonna be doing dun. And we're gonna move towards that. So here we're gonna use an EQ8 to get this going here. And we're gonna filter it in. Here we go. That's the idea right now. That's the idea that we're going for. So with that done there, now what we can do is add a little bit of atmosphere to that because it's definitely needed. Let's open up another return, and this one's going to be more for standard reverb. Let's call it standard or some shit. I ain't even going to care how I spell it. And we're going to drop that there. And we're just going to route it to that. It's already going to sound heavy, heavy, heavy. We need some uplifters here, so that's where we're going to be using the main stage pack for that. Let's use the FX tools, which are going to be the free ones you guys can download over at the SoundCloud. You can check it out there. I'll make sure to leave the link. I always say I will, but then I get lazy because I end up leaving this shit rendering, and then it's like, oh, it uploaded. Ah, fuck, I'm not home. So let's go. So let's just do a little bit of atmosphere. I think this one's going to be dope here. Yeah, that one. We can do this. Very quiet. We're gonna be an F, so let's do this here. And we're gonna have this little effect. It's really gonna help. And we just gotta go down. Let's see, G and F sharp and then F. All right, there we go. Again, we're not doing much mixing besides the OTT, and it sounds amazing. Imagine if we put a master on this. Again, it's just picking the right sounds. We're giving everything its space. So this effect does a lot here, but again, we need to get this hyper, so we need more of an uplifter. And just, you know, forget about what I'm naming things, guys. Name things like professionally. Don't be like me right now. All right, so let's find a riser here, and I think, yeah, we're going to be able to go with this one here. Let's right click and click show fades, and we'll turn this riser into our own by just doing this here. There we go. All right, cool. So we got that uplifter, and now what we can do is route it to B. Give it that atmosphere that it needs. This is my world, guys. This is my world. This is the trance world. But yeah, you know, I come from trance, so I enjoy making these type of breaks. I'm used to make them so much back in the day when I would be talking to a lot of trance guys, and it was be funny. They actually taught me a lot, though. They taught me a lot on how simple it actually is to execute it once you know how to do it properly. Okay, let's keep going. We need to add more stuff. We're gonna be adding like a downlifter in the beginning of this, just to emphasize going from you know, the intro, I guess, to a break really fast. This really works here. I'm really gonna give it that. And then we're gonna grab this impact, put it over here as well. Doing a downlifter, you know, Let's go with this one. Now we're going to edit this ourselves because, again, we want a certain vibe from this. We don't want that initial crash. We're going to click show fades and just remove a little bit of this here. And let's lower volume. Let's have this sound actually play here as well. I really like it for atmosphere. Now, I really do want to change the sound. I want it to be a little bit more harder, not so beautiful. And so for that, I think I'm going to go with Lead Square Master. And check that out here. Woo! It's getting nasty up in here. All right, let's see if we can find something a little bit more. Yeah, I saw a hardstyle shit. Now here's where we're gonna go from the from that climax to the build up. So it would be something like this. Check it. And then we would be we would add that atmosphere. We would add that crash here as well. Again, we're gonna go with EQ now. Shit just got real, guys. Now it sounds like it needs to fucking sound. All the haters probably left their comments already, and for those of you guys that stayed, now we're fucking talking. Now you're gonna see this shit. This should evolve into a fucking build. All right, so what we're gonna be doing here is just doing a really cool kind of down, like just reducing. And it's gonna be filtering up now. You hear that shit coming in? It's like, what the fuck? Imagine there's a snare build as well. And we're gonna add that. It's in the pack too as well. Main stage effects tool, guys. Fuck. Yeah, this would do it. All right, guys, and I'm gonna end the video there. Just a little rant there. I hope that you guys enjoyed it. I hope that this kind of gives you guys a perspective on how to make your ideas come to life. If you want to support the pack Main Stage Revolution, go ahead. It means the world to me, as always, guys. You guys let me do this for a living. Every single day I try to make a tutorial for you guys, and it's been going great. Channel's growing slowly, and I can't wait to just get into more genres and shed some light on them. To help you guys make them. Anyways, ninjas, I hope you guys are having fun making this style of music, making whatever you're making. Keep going at it, and I'll see you guys next time. Take care and have an amazing day.